What's going on, everybody? How you doing out there? What's up? I am Kirk Berry, and this is Conversations on the Orange Mic. As always, we have interesting conversations for you every time we have a show. And like I always say, we have provocative, informative, and even hilarious conversations with our guests. Today, we have a special guest from way back in the day. We're going to get into all that. From our back days of COURTVISION and our original staff and everything, and one of my dear friends. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the show, Alysha.
Hi,
Jones.
Glad to be here.
What's up? How you doing?
You know what? I'm okay.
Yeah?
I've had some rough patches, but honestly, I'm getting there.
Oh, man. Rough patches. We all doing that.
Yeah, but you have to stay positive through it all.
Yeah.
Especially during these times. It's it's hard, but I'm still here.
We're doing it. I'm so glad you're here on the show, though.
Yes, I'm excited to be here. It's about time.
Yes, we haven't seen each other for so long.
Yeah, it's been at least over a year.
Like 20 years, yeah.
Yeah, we could put like that, 20 years, yeah.
So let's tell the people who you are and what you do.
Okay, so I'm Alysha. I just turned 31 years old. I am currently a child and youth worker. I work with Fresh Start, Free Services,
nice.
Incorporated.
Big up Fresh Start.
Yes, so I've been doing that. It's going to be 6 years this June.
Wow.
6 years this June.
I remember when you were about to get that.
Yeah, I remember that too.
So long ago, wow.
It's a blessing to have, be in that field working with the youth that I work at, and especially with COVID. It didn't affect me in the sense that I lost a job.
Yeah.
I was deemed essential. So luckily, I was blessed enough to still be working through these tough times.
Of course.
Yeah.
I'm so glad they have you because,
I know.
They need some.
It's been tough, not only for me, but for the youth as well. Having to just stay locked up in the house, can't really go anywhere.
Yeah.
They're teenage boys. Teenage boys like to be out of the house. Teenagers, period, right? So
yeah.
We've been doing the best we can and keeping safe, and so far, so good.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's great. That is an amazing, occupation you have there.
It can be hard.
Yep.
It can be hard, but it's very rewarding.
I'm actually glad to hear about this because knowing how way back in days when we were working together doing COURTVISION, we had all these tournaments and events that we were doing, and Alysha's been like our right hand, making sure things get done right.
Trying to keep organized. Yeah.
Yes, those are the good old days when we had sports and programs and tournaments.
And you could be outside.
Outside, yeah. And you can actually talk to people, like,
exactly.
like in their face and say hi,
Yeah.
We better get back to like real life.
I know, soon hopefully. A lot of people aren't trying to stay inside this summer, so we'll see how that goes.
I think some people are going to make sure they have their own version of Caravana.
Oh, yes, for sure. We did that last year.
We're going to jump up somehow.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. So let's talk a little bit about Fresh Start. Let's talk about how has that job been from the beginning, like when you first started. What was it like, on the first, I guess, few months? How did that work out?
So when you're working in an environment with different clients and not knowing what to expect, it's hard. You want your clients to like you and respect you, but you have to, in a way, earn that respect.
These are the young boys you're talking about?
These are the young teenage boys that I work with. A new face coming in. They're trying to figure you out right away. So you have to assert yourself, but be yourself. Because over time, I've had kids that have left the program and have called to say hi, how are you? I miss you guys. I wish I was still there. So
that's a positive effect you had on them. At this point, that's good.
Those teenage boys are like my little brothers, my little annoying brothers that I've always wanted or never wanted. But it's, when you have these kids appreciate you and get to the point where they're comfortable enough to open up to you and talk to you about things, come to you about relationship advice, girls, things like that. Okay, I'm doing something right here.
That's good.
Yeah,
that's good. I totally relate to that. And of course, how what I do as well.
Yes.
That's why we work together so well. Working with young people, working with the youth, working with those who are less fortunate. We make sure that we do everything possible to provide them, healthy and positive spaces.
Absolutely.
And positive environments with just us being there, being present. And like you said, them able to talk to you, open up to you, and talk about personal things that they wouldn't talk to anybody else with,
Yeah.
And they're one way with the guys, like, yo, talk to the man, them, whatever.
Oh boy.
The Scarborough talks,
yes,
yo, fam, yeah, yo.
And they're being like, no, it's lady, it's not the B word. I'm being like my mom. I find myself saying things. I'm like, oh wait. Yep. Oh gosh, I sound just like my mother.
So they're learning respect,
yes,
and how to handle themselves around a lady, how to be, honorable to females and so on.
Exactly.
And that's a major lessons that they're getting, because that's something they would have gotten from either a two-parent home or even a single-parent home.
Right.
But they're not able to get that, right? And they're getting that from you, which is amazing. They're getting both from you, and that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, especially when they say, oh, you're so old. But I'm still at an age where there's only like 15, 14, 13 years difference. So I can still relate.
Yeah, of course.
With certain things that they think I wouldn't be able to relate to, like music and stuff. Like, oh, how do you know about this? I'm not that old.
Exactly.
Right? But
that's the beauty of being a youth worker. Our job is, or I guess a positive thing we do, is that we know how to always stay relevant.
Yes, for sure.
I don't know. It's just a thing we do. It's like a magical thing.
It's just natural, but for them, it's like, you're too old to know this stuff. Yeah.
They're like, that's impossible. How could you know that?
Right.
No, well, I do.
It's very surprising to them.
And then they're like, you know what? That's cool. You know that stuff. They can now feel like they can relate, like you're saying.
Exactly.
That's nice. That's nice. With that being said, all the stuff that goes on with the environment, unfortunately, I know that it comes with challenges, and it happens. There's positive times, good times, challenges, hard times, and I speak on a time where you can relate to when it's been very hard, and it was a time that you didn't know how to, approach it or get out of it, but you're in it, and then you eventually got out of it. But how did you approach that?
Well, I can say over time, I learned patience. I have patience now that I didn't have before. That's one thing. I know I enjoy what I do, and I take it serious when I go home and I bring homework with me.
Nice.
And I have moments where I cry about the kid's situation.
I understand.
Now, what I've learned is that when I'm there and I'm dealing with a youth who is going through a tough time and I might need to step back, I remind myself, Alysha, you get to go home. This kid doesn't get to go home tonight. So that humbles me. Yeah. In that moment, it's like, okay, take a step back, breathe it out, and really understand what this youth is going through. Yeah. And work with them, not against them. Wow. And they're used to that. They're used to being judged. Being a group home kid, yes, you already have that label on you as a bad kid. And these kids aren't bad. No. They just have had rough patches. Yeah. Unfortunate circumstances. And oh, man, we're there for them. Yeah. We're family. That's what it is. We're not just clients in the house. We're family. We have a family setting. We do family things. We eat at one table together. Nice. We eat dinner together. Nice. So that's how we like to keep it. And yeah, over time, it's like, okay, you know what? I'm making an impact here, and they impact me. They teach me things as well. It's not just me teaching them. I learn a lot from them as well. So it's very rewarding. That's a beautiful type of client, and the professional way is client, but my little annoying brothers and sisters, that's what it is. Still family. Yeah, exactly. I get it. Wow, it's such a rewarding thing. A lot of people they're not built for this. That's for one thing for sure. We know everybody's not built for this. Right. And what's even more worse is the kids will let you know. Oh yes. Those who think, oh, that should be easy. Like, sure, okay, all right, yeah, go ahead. The kids will expose you and say, oh yes, you don't want to be smart. That. They're very smart, and they get drawn to like real people. Yes. And anyone that's fake and comes with that nonsense, they'll pick it up. Yeah. They will pick it up and you're done. Done. You're done. In that moment, there's no coming back. They figured you out and they know how to use it. And they make sure everybody knows, and then the next day you find out, hey, where's that so-and-so that started yesterday? Yeah. Oh, they got fired. They just, they're on a break there. They're, just we leave it there. So they just disappear. Exactly. And some of the kids are like, oh yeah, we got rid of them. Oh yes, they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. Yeah, because it is hard for them, because sometimes it's being in the system in that way. They don't necessarily want to be there sometimes, right? But if they have good people around, it changes all that. But now, if the bad people are around, they're going to make sure that they do everything possible to make it uncomfortable. Yes. Right, but
I like when you're able to work with them and get them to a place where they start doing better things and positive things, like better in school and better in social stuff, or they actually may get a job and then they start saving. Then they thinking about their future and planning and whatever. Right. That's like what we're talking about, being so rewardable. That is so good.
Yeah, and for them, it's a big deal. Like sitting down and helping them work on the resume. Alysha, can you come help me work on my resume? Little things like that. It's like, okay, you know, like you want to do something and you have the help, you have the guidance to do it. Yeah. And I know for them, it's like, okay. And then when they come home and say, I got the job.
Hey.
You see it. They try to show it off like, oh, you know, it's nothing. But in reality, it's like, yo, I got a job. I got my first job.
Yes.
So.
Right. And those are those things that they don't get to share with, I guess, a real like family and a home family. Yes. But that's now become their family. So they're getting the same kind of experience in just in a different kind of way.
Yes.
You know, so it's beautiful. It's beautiful. So it's just nice that they don't miss out on certain good things when they're growing up.
Exactly.
That's all because of you, man. All because of you.
You know, I have a great staff, great teammates, great coworkers, great friends that I work with, that if I ever need a break, I can just step back.
Yeah.
And they'll come in for me and vice versa. We work together. Yeah. And, you know, the youth see that. Yeah. So it makes them want to, okay, let's work together as well.
That's good. That's good. Is, you know what I'm talking about. Is he still
He's still there. Hot? Yes, he's still big man. He's still big man.
Oh man, big up to Officer Rod.
Rod Chung, yes.
What's up, Mr. Chung? How you doing, man? I hope you're watching this, man. Big up, man. I'm so proud of you, man. I haven't seen him for so long. We need to get you on the show too. Yeah, how about that?
Right? Yeah. I'll talk to him.
Officer Rod, I'm so proud of you, man. Doing a great thing, and a lot of people talk about police officers not good cops, but we definitely know Officer Rod Chung. You're an amazing soul, an amazing officer, and everything you do. We thank you for all that you do. I just had to make sure you know that. I hope you're watching.
Definitely a positive role model, because a lot of these boys too. Yeah. You know, it's screw the cops. It's all these things.
Yeah.
But when they see him, it's nothing but respect. Yeah. Because he shows nothing but respect. And they know he's an officer, but he's just that guy you can approach and you can talk to. Yeah. You know, so I think that's very important. He definitely is a great impact on them as well.
Completely. I'm so proud of him. Wow. Well, I'm so happy here. We're actually going to, go to a little quick commercial break.
All right.
And then we're going to come back and continue our conversation with Miss Alysha Jones. Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome back to Conversations on the Orange Mic, and of course our guest today, like we said, is Alysha Jones. So we had a great conversation. We're talking about working with youth at a wonderful organization called Fresh Start. So there's another great organization, and I'm going to make sure I tell you how great it is. It's the greatest organization ever. That organization is called COURTVISION Athletics. Way back in the days, it was COURTVISION Basketball Incorporated. We've evolved in multiple sports and multiple events and multiple things, and all that was because people like yourself has been with me when we got this started way back in the day. So let's talk about
oh my gosh, where do we start?
We're going to talk about when we met at the rec center and all that stuff, and how all the early days of doing COURTVISION. So let's talk about that. What can you remember from around day ones and all that kind of stuff? What can you tell the people?
So I remember working for B4L, Basketball for Life, which
Oh,
is a
yeah.
program with the Toronto Police.
Wow.
Yes. And so we started doing ball runs and tournaments. And Ellesmere Rec was one of the places that we would do it. I think it was on a Thursday or Friday night.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that became like my second home on weekends.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause I was there every week.
Every week.
And that's how we met.
Yeah, man.
And from then it just...
B4L. That was cool. And I remember the awards shows at the end of the basketball session when they did that at the church.
Oh, yeah. Oh, see, I forgot all about that.
That was cool.
Yes.
It had the actual banquet and everything and awards.
We did. It was like and we did a draft too. Yes.
Draft, yes, for the season. So
Yes.
we made it a great initiative to have these kids look forward to playing ball and have something that they can feel a belonging to.
Yes.
There was like stats and all that stuff. They felt really good.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a beautiful competition with a lot of the kids. They brought their friends, make their teams. It was good times,
Mm-hmm. It
man.
was fun.
Yeah,
I
man.
had fun.
I love that banquet thing because they all came all dressed up.
Dressed up, yes.
Some came in nice cars and stuff that they got maybe
Just
the
to show
parents.
off, yes.
Say-
It was a big deal.
Yeah. I said, Mom, Dad, could you just drop me off? You know, and just open the door for me kind of thing. I'm going to come out in my suit.
Yeah.
It was
good
nice.
times, yeah.
Really good time. It was nice to see the kids look forward to that and step up their game and everything. And it gave them such a nice sense of self-worth and all that stuff, self-value.
Yeah, it was a perfect outlet outside of their reality. It was a place for them to go and just play basketball and have fun.
That was beautiful. It was beautiful. I really wish that we could have kept that going, you know. There was a lot of things around the time that was caused issue based on budgeting and stuff like that because it was like facilities and a lot of time and, you know, equipment and then trophies and food and
all
catering and staffing, all that came into play. And
But it was fun while we had it.
Of course.
It was fun.
Money always have to come in and mess things up. Jeez, man. Ciao.
But it was great times, a lot of great memories.
Of course.
Met a lot of people, and still to this day.
Can't
still
forget
talk
them.
to a lot of them now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That was cool.
I still talk to a few of those guys because I mean those times I was 15. 15. So it's been about 15 years now. Oh my gosh.
Yep.
It's been a long time.
Just went like that.
Just like that. I was like a kid and now I'm like an adult.
Oh gosh. It's funny, we see some of those kids, I guess, that they've grown up and they come to the rec center too, just to pass by and say hello. And they're like, "Hey, what's up, coach? How you doing?"
Yeah.
And they go, "Hey, come meet my son." I'm like, "What?"
All of a sudden, yeah.
Your son? Yeah, I have a little daughter. Your daughter? What? Yeah, man. Yeah, coach, I got a daughter. I'm like, okay, all right. But that's nice though, because they're introducing us to their child as opposed to like running away from that responsibility. They're there, they're doing their thing, they're trying, right? And it was a nice thing to see because, you know, we do what we do to kind of see them become great men and women, right?
Absolutely.
And it's awesome. It was awesome. Wow, man. Flashback.
Yeah. And it's nice that there's enough respect and love there for them to come back.
Yeah.
And just say, "Hey, coach, you know, it's been a while.
Yeah.
Just wanted to come see if you're still here."
Yep.
All of those things.
That's the priceless part of everything.
Yeah, I agree.
So priceless. Wow.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we're going to switch gears a little bit. So we here talking stuff. We're going back in time and everything. Talk about everything. Talk about what we do with the youth and everything. Let's get a little, talk a little personal stuff about now.
Boy, let's do it.
Yeah, man. We have to do this, It's just part of the show.
Yes, let's do it. I'm ready.
So let's talk a little bit about relationships and certain issues about relationships that we can talk about. First of all, let's talk about, is there a relationship right now?
No, there is not currently a relationship.
I
looked in the camera when I said that.
You guys got that?
Quickly.
You got that? I asked that question purposely. Did you get that?
No relationship at the moment. I am looking to be in one day.
Okay, so at this moment, right now, I think the comments is going crazy. Message. Message. Go ahead.
Alysha, Miss Officer on IG.
Hey, oh, there it is. You know, hey, if you missed it, you missed it. You gotta catch it. You gotta rewind. Get it.
With relationships, though, I find it not necessarily hard, but it's a different generation.
Yeah.
Where people don't take love, commitment as serious as when our parents, our great grandparents did. And I'm an old school soul. So there's little things that I look for in a person that sometimes it's hard to come across.
Yeah.
And I was never a girl to settle.
Yeah.
So my time will come. I'm waiting. But I know it's possible, and just patiently waiting at this point in time.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, I've gone to the point now where I've even tried online dating.
That's okay.
It's different. I'm a people person, as you know.
Yeah, I know.
But I can't be outside like that, so who am I meeting?
Oh, man. It just makes it worse now.
Yeah.
Okay, so it is tough. I've been hearing a lot. You know, people are going through issues trying to make this happen and stuff. But it's something some people are getting through, and there's a lot of success even with the online dating stuff. You know, because it's possible. At least people are now trying to at least take away some of the fakeness and try to be a little bit more real. Yeah. Because things are different now. Right now, it is. So we hope that they're sincere, but
you never know. It takes time.
It always takes time. Always takes time.
Figure out a person, their intentions. You never know right away.
Intentions. Having great intentions is very essential. It is atop of the essential list. Like, it is. The real essential list. Yeah.
It is.
Man. Okay. So in relationships, let's go and talk a little bit about the issues, I guess. Okay. Kind of maybe if it's negative, but we can talk about that. But going through relationships now, or looking for a relationship now, what are the things that are so negative that you're looking to avoid? And but whether it's things you've heard of or they're things you've gone through, what would be those specific things, negative things that you are trying to avoid?
I would say one thing is just don't make me look like a fool. Don't make me look like a fool. I just wish people would be more honest. I know sometimes it's easier to say what the person wants to hear, just to avoid any conflict, any confrontation. But in that process, you're painting an image of something that's not real. And I wish people would just be honest with their intentions, what they want, what they don't want, when they want it, versus telling me a story because you want me around, but you just want to keep me around just because. Until, say, maybe you find someone else, but you still want someone around because you don't want to be lonely.
So it's like for the time being kind of thing.
They have this thing called cuffing season.
Oh, God.
So when it gets cold outside, you need someone to keep you warm and cuddle up. Come summertime, you're free. Yeah. I don't do that.
I always wonder, where did cuffing season start from? Like, where did it come from? I don't know.
I don't know, but there's songs about it.
There's songs about it. There's events about. There's actual show. To be really honest, we were thinking about doing an actual show about it, like a concert, like kind of around the times. Yeah, we were thinking about it because it was something that works for I guess a club thing, and it was an idea, but we were trying to make it on a positive spin with it. But I don't know. I would like to know, where did it come from and when did it start? Like it's like it may have been something that happened, but it didn't have a title. And now it's a real thing. Now it's a title. Now it's a actual, like a fad or something,
Yeah, like Netflix and chill.
No.
It's
God.
Well, that's another story, but that's another story. But yeah, it's come to that, and I just want something that's real. And real seems almost sacred nowadays. Scarce, I should say. Yeah, it's hard to find. Not to say it's not out there. But finding someone who genuinely knows what they want and that they're in that space to do so.
Yeah.
Don't say you want it, but you're not ready for it.
Yep. That goes back to the intentions, right?
Yeah.
Like, are you just talking? Are you really speaking the words with the right intentions behind it and the motives and no hidden agendas at all?
That's it too.
Man. So I want to ask now, because let's be real here.
Yes.
With what you said already about the guys and stuff. So when guys are doing certain things, let's address certain things that guys do or don't do that us men need to do better at. You know, I know you mentioned some things already, those are perfect. Let's go a little deeper though. Okay, let's see if there's something, our viewers can hear, because hey, real talks, guys, we don't open up and talk about a lot of things, and I think that's one of those things we're also going to talk about.
Yes.
So what else besides that? You can talk about that too, but what else that you can think of digging deep about what guys do or don't do that make things so difficult in relationships, or starting a relationship, or finding a relationship, or keeping one?
Okay, so I will briefly touch on opening up.
Okay.
So I've noticed, especially among Black men,
Let's talk about it.
they're afraid to be vulnerable and open up to, whether it's their guy friends, their woman, whoever it is.
Yeah.
But I'll speak, because we're on the relationship topic. I'll speak about, for example, me being with a man and he's afraid to open up to me.
Yeah.
I've had this discussion with plenty of friends, Black men, and it stemmed from, well, men don't break down and cry. That's not what we do. That's not how I was raised. We're supposed to be the protector.
I hear that, but
we're supposed to be...
That's actually a lie.
Strong for you.
I hear that. We say it, but it's still a lie.
Yeah, and I've seen a partner of mine struggle with it, and he just couldn't open up, because either that's not what men do, or women will laugh at him for breaking down and shedding a tear, because men don't do that. And for me, that's hard, because I want my partner to be able to open up to me, and I listen. Of course. Not talk, but listen. And try and understand where he's coming from. And let's do something about it. But they'll just hold it in, and he'll tend to my issues. But what about yours? When are we going to take time to deal with what you're going through? Mental health is a big issue. It's real. Yes. And Black men don't talk about it, but they go through it. And you'll see the signs, but they won't admit to it, and they won't talk about it. Yeah. So that becomes hard for me as a friend, as a girlfriend, potentially a wife one day, that I'm with someone who just can't go through that. It's hard. For me, it's hard. Yeah. So I try and figure out, what is it that we can do for you to feel safe. I'll use not comfortable, but safe enough to open up and know that it's okay to say what's on your mind. And if you have to let out that cry, let it out.
Let it out.
It's hard.
It's definitely hard. It's definitely hard. And it's one of those things you mentioned about mental health, and it's just such an important thing to us. That was actually our very first show. Oh, yeah? Yeah. Our great friend of ours, Jermaine, is a very, very strong advocate in mental health wellness, and opened our eyes in a lot of ways about checking ourselves. And just like how you will go to the doctor to get a checkup and stuff, that you need to do that for your mental health as well. Yes. And a lot of people, we don't think about that. We don't look at it that way. Right. And it's even worse in the Black community. And being specific as a Black man, we don't do it. It's just too much pride for no reason. There's too much excuses for no reasons. And there's a lot of stuff that we put on ourselves and in our culture, and then individually, what society says about us. Yes. They can say what they want, but the worst part is that we are listening and we're accepting it, and letting that be the ammo because they said it. No, that should not be the case. It's something that we have to just look within ourselves, and we have to check ourselves in every way. Everyone's different. That's the beauty of it. Like everyone's different, so it can't be one thing to fix everybody.
Right.
It's that we all gotta check ourselves and do what we have to do. Black men, in just a regular basis, don't take the time to be, like you mentioned, being vulnerable, opening up, and sharing, and letting the tears flow. Like, what's the harm in that? We're human. We have feelings. We have emotions. They're real. Let them come out. Despite whatever, the so-called consequences are.
Right.
It's something that we have to get over that completely. I like this right now because we were actually working on a show coming up that is going to be diving more into more specifics about mental health and black mental health. It's a different thing. I know people say, well, why you have to call it black? Well, because black mental health is a lot different than anything else.
Yes.
Like, hey, my black people, we know what we're talking about, right? We love all of our guests and watching the show, but there is something else in our community we deal with that nobody else can relate to but us, right? So it's something that we have to address. We are calling it out, and we have to make sure we get to the bottom of it. So that we are going to be having that as a show where we get to have we'll have professionals, like male professionals and female professionals, and we're going to be like diving into it and it being more specific about things because that's what they have as a degree. That's what they do, right? So we're going a little higher in that. But I like this though because we're talking about relationships. So, what would you like to say to? I know we're gonna go more, but saying something like to our guest about, like, this is, it may be kind of weird, but we're like speaking to all black men out there, from a black woman's point of view, and your heart, your feeling, your soul. At this moment, as we're talking about this, what can you say to them to make them hear your heart, hear what they need to listen to, so they can, like, make some changes?
Yeah. First, I want to say it's okay. It's okay to be human. Because you're a man doesn't make you soft. It doesn't make you weak to have a breakdown. I know we grow up in a society where women can be one thing and men can be another thing, but what men are supposed to be are protectors. But you need to be protected too. And it's finding the right person who you trust and confide in to be that person. We all need that person. I don't care what anybody says. It's true. Not just for a woman to be able to call someone up, which is usually a guy, and break down. Who can men call to have that breakdown and feel better?
Yeah.
Because what do they say? You find ways to cope with your emotions. What way do they find? Putting it to the side.
Yep.
We have to find a way. And speaking as a black woman to other females, not just other black women, as to other females, that we need to be an open ear and listen and not judge. I think that's another thing too. Men feel like they're judged. And a lot of them I can't blame, because a lot of females will laugh at them and make fun of it. Yeah. So that makes it even harder. It's already hard enough being a young black man living in our society. So when they deal with all the things that they have to deal with being a young black man, why is it that why aren't we there to protect them with that? We can talk about, Black Lives Matter, and they can be dealing with the emotions of being a black man, being scared to even walk out of his house or even be in his house. So why can we address that, but any other thing we don't want to address with them or take time to listen to it? It's deep.
That's very deep.
It's deep. And I don't think people take the time to really listen and understand that this is what's going on. So we have to come together and find a way.
Wow.
Yeah.
I like that.
And I take it very serious.
I've
cried about it. I've talked to guy friends and I've cried for them. Yeah. But they need to cry for themselves. So.
Wow.
It's tough.
It's very tough. It is
very
tough. And I really appreciate you all being open up about that. That's very...
We have to be.
Yeah.
We're too closed off, and we just follow society's norms.
Yeah.
We can't do that.
No.
Because it's not meant for us.
No.
It doesn't work in our favor. So.
There's a couple things that what you were saying now allow me to say what I'm about to say now. So, as a black man, I want to be talking straight. So, personal experience for myself, I understand when you're talking about when a woman that you will be laughing at, you know, when a man is being emotional or vulnerable, and being able to be expressive about things, hoping that his partner will be the one that be the first one to listen to, the first one to be there, to hug and hold, and hey, let's walk and get through all this. But unfortunately, that doesn't happen all the time. I can relate to an experience I had where it was in a very disgusting relationship that ended in a very horrible, you know, divorce. And one of the things that was said in the end is it stays with me, and even furthermore, it stayed with my parents, right? Based on what was said to me. It's the same person that so-called is, hey, I'm gonna live forever with. This same person at the end was so full of hate, so full of things to say, and would say things after I've been, you know, going through emotions for quite some time. And at the end, fully saying things to me, but not just to me, but to also my mother. Things like, oh, whatever, it's over. I don't care. I won't talk to this guy no more. I'm going to send him back home to you. We're talking to my mother now. So that he can get some more breast milk so he can become a man. Now, that's another black woman talking to me.
Yeah.
But my mother is on the phone with me as well. So that's another black woman talking to me, to my black mother. You know me? So it's another, so I hear what you're saying about how some women could be, you know, they could be part of it. That's what is an experience I can speak on, and I'm being open about it. And those words was extremely piercing to myself, and what it felt for me was I beyond words. But then I think about it sometimes, what could that have done to my mother? And then let my father hear that, knowing what they've done to raise me up.
Yes.
And what I am as a man, and so on, what I do for a living, who I, you know, confide in, who I mentor, how much I've done all my life. But yet still this one woman was able to say certain things like that to me that hurt so much. Now, obviously, as a man, I can take that different ways. I can take that and I'm going to put myself in a hole and live my life as a horrible man and be mean to women all my life because of her.
Yeah.
Right? And in my own mind, it's justified because I have made it justified because, truthfully, the situation, you could say it's justified. But is that the right way to do it? No. But it was a thought. Right? So that's very hard to hear and to talk about. It's just sad, like, you know, like in the relationship part, like we were talking about, even how black men, you know, they're missing the mark in a lot of ways. I can attest to some black men, and again, this is not an excuse, but there's reasons why some of them are missing the mark. Some of them.
Yes, not all.
Some, right? But again, it's not an excuse. It may be you missed the mark, but you have a choice. And then seek help. How can I get help to bounce back, to become whole again, to help me to take away these scars, to be a better man, right? And that's hard because a lot of the men that we know, again, that we work with, we know that their life, where they started,
yes,
they're missing their mother, or they're missing their father, or they're missing both, right? And what they have to look up to You know, we know where that is, right? There's not much, right? So this is a very, very deep rooted thing. Deep rooted. I know it was kind of like, so the relationships part, on as much as I can say this about black men, it can be also certain things to be said about black women and women on the whole, and men on the whole, but we're talking specifically black men and women. Like, there's certain things that we have lived through, carry, or lost, that has made us less of who we want to be or who we are. And it's such a hard thing to go through life with that. But again, with all that, that still speaks to our resilience, our strength, our power, our influence. Look at that. We're survivors, real survivors. So, you know, it is things we do have to address, though. It's a strong thing we have to talk about it. Talking about it is a major solution. Major, right?
It's just talking about it is one thing. Mm-hmm. Acknowledging it, not accepting it, but acknowledging it and saying, okay, something needs to be done. That's the first step.
Yeah.
But a lot of us are in denial. We know it's there, but we just act like it's not.
Oh, man. No more pretending.
That's it.
Gotta talk about it. Wow. This is good.
Yeah.
This is real good. I like this because it's something we have to do. And it's never easy.
I don't think it's ever going to be.
It's never easy. No.
Yeah.
It's never easy. So what do you think, from your point of view, what do you think some of us black men, what do you think we can do to make our job better, to do better, to do right by you and all that kind of stuff? What do you think that, you know, black men could do better?
It starts with yourself. It's easy to say, you know, I want to be my best version for you, but you have to be the best version for yourself first.
I like that.
So I think I believe that if you know you're not in a space mentally, I'll speak mentally, to be with somebody, then take that time for yourself. Don't rush it. Because you bring a lot of things that you're not ready for, baggage, whatever it is, into a relationship, and bring it to somebody who thought that they knew one thing, and then it's a whole nother thing. And over time, they start picking up these things. And, well, how do you fix something that you didn't even know was an issue from the jump? So I don't want you to be a better version for me. I want you to be a better version for yourself. And then by you doing that, I'm going to get the best of you.
Yeah.
So it's always going to start with yourself first. And once you have that and you're confident in who you are and what you bring to the table, then if things don't work out, you can say you gave your all.
Nice.
No regrets. So I need someone who knows what they want.
Yeah.
That's just how it has to be. And know that they're ready for whatever it is maybe I'm bringing to the table, I'm telling you I want. And it's okay if you're not, but be real about it.
You know, that I love that, saying that it is actually okay if you're not.
Yeah.
Like,
it's okay not to be okay. And that's another thing we don't acknowledge. It's okay not to be okay. Because
it's a process. You have to start somewhere. You have to get to a point where you are okay.
Yes.
So there's going to be a long time that you're not going to be okay.
And that's okay.
But that's the problem. In that time, we're trying to do everything in that time.
In between. And then 9 times out of 10, does it work or does it not work?
Or 9 times out of 10.
Okay, that's my point.
It's even worse.
Yeah.
Man. And then goes back to, who do we confide in? Who do we have to guide us? Who's there to say, hey, come, let me talk to you for a second, man. Like, you're not ready, you know what I mean? Like, you know, it's such a give and take, because you need that hand, that person, that voice of reason, that loving reason. And then more importantly, we need to be having listening ears.
Yes.
To accept it and say, hey, you know what? You're right. I hear you.
Yeah.
And then listen and do what's been said.
Exactly.
Oh, man. That's such a challenge for a lot of people.
It is.
I really hope that people are hearing this though, and then I hope this is starting to open up the door, open up your eyes, open up your ears, and open up your heart to really do real assessments about what's being, talked about here, because, it's real. It's real, and it's a hard road if you decide to go that way, and it's not easy coming back if you come back.
Yeah.
Man. So with all that, based on relationships again,
yeah,
positive things about relationships, knowing that that what is negative can be so heartbreaking in so many ways, we can now look at for positive things and things that you're positive looking forward to, that you're seeking for, what you gonna be talking about, what you like and what you're positive things about that, something maybe some
positive end,
maybe somebody out there might be able to be like get their checkbook out and say okay, I can do that, yep, I can do that, all right.
Okay, so things are most important to me.
Yeah.
I need someone who's compassionate. I mean, that just... I need somebody who is helpful.
Yeah.
Is kind, patient, loving. And not just with me, but everybody around me. It could be a stranger.
Yeah.
That... Because that's who I am.
Yeah.
So I seek that in someone I'm with as well.
Okay.
I'm just looking forward to settling down with somebody.
Yeah.
And, having kids.
Oh,
a dog. All those little things.
Hercules.
So it's things like that. I don't ask for much, but
yeah.
I want you to love me for me. Don't try and change me. Don't try and manipulate situations. That's another thing.
Oh God.
and because that's a mental thing, and I don't think it's okay to play around when it comes to that. So know what you want. Stand firm with what you want. Be assertive. This is another thing. I had a conversation with some people about females as well. I don't want a yes man.
Oh, you hear that?
I do not want a yes man.
Yep.
That's if I feel like I not necessarily wear the pants in the relationship, but if I feel like I can control you and what you do, I don't want that.
And what's funny about that? You're probably not even trying to control. It's just like you see that something has to be done. It has to be done this way. It's the right way to do it. Let's get it done. And then the other person is doing the opposite, and you're like, let's get it done. And then you just kind of just do it because it's just natural to do the right thing. And yet the little person would be like, hey, you're trying to do everything and try and tell me what to do. I'm like, no,
it's not even that.
It's nothing to do with that. You just, do the right thing. Straight up. Spike Lee. Like the movie, man. Do the right thing.
Yeah, but see, you can go from that to having a conversation with someone about something and they're uncomfortable with it.
Yeah.
But they're just gonna compromise. But then how many times are you gonna compromise yourself and how you feel before you start lashing out at me? And it's like, oh my gosh, well, what just happened here? Because now you're tired of always being that person and not being yourself. So that's why I say I need you to be yourself.
Yep.
And speak up. It's okay to tell me no. It's okay to have a disagreement. But we can agree to disagree. Like, I don't know why that's become such an issue. People don't know how to do that.
What was the line, one of those cliche things, opposite attract kind of thing, that would require to have opposite opinions about things. Sometimes it's just how it is.
We say it, but we don't act. We don't really do what we're saying. So it's those little things. And I can tell you, talking to females, they think I'm a hater for saying it. But I say what works for me.
But before you continue, those same ones, they calling you a hater, but they're probably in a relationship where they're like, yes, dear. Yes, dear. And
behind closed doors.
And they're miserable because they are a yes woman.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Is there such a thing? You know what I mean? And
I don't know, is there?
It might, if there's a yes man, there must be a yes woman.
Maybe she's just a happy woman because she gets whatever.
Well, but that's not always a good thing. I know. Because now that's may not be what makes her happy.
Exactly.
Because some men just think material things, here you go, whatever.
But for some women, I won't say it would make them happy overall, but for that period of time, it's making them happy because
it's such a false,
they get that,
false level of happiness. They get whatever
they want out of a man.
Oh.
And it's just, but you don't love the man, but the man can love you.
Yeah.
Like he's never loved before, but you're just taking advantage of the situation now.
And then at the same time, when a man realizes that, and when he actually figures it out and realizes it, well, guess what?
Exactly.
Men will turn off real quick. And that same woman will be like, well, what happened?
And then it's just...
And then the real stuff comes out, and now you realize what was the real essence of the whole relationship.
Exactly.
So...
it's a lose-lose.
It's a lose-lose for them. So saying what you're saying and doing what you're saying, it makes more sense because now, over time, you see what each person likes or dislikes, and it's spoken. It's declared, and everyone hears it.
Communication's there.
Communication, and then it's there's comprehension based on what's been said, and you now can take it and say, all right, I understand. I clearly understand, and you follow through. And then the next time around, it's easier, and the next issue as it comes gets easier because you have that kind of approach to things.
Exactly.
Man, this is getting deep. I love it.
That's how it's supposed to. It's good to have these conversations, whether it's planned or not planned. Just have the conversation.
Just talk.
We're going through it.
Yeah.
We're going through it. This is life. Real life. It's every day. It's not just you and I going through it.
It's life.
So
everybody out there, you're going through stuff. Say something in the comments. Let us know what's up.
Yeah.
Because this is part of what we're doing with this show. It's conversations on the orange mic. Even though you may not have natural little orange mic in your house, this is still how we're doing it, okay? To put something in the comments. Let us know what you're hearing, what you're thinking, what you think about what we're talking about, what's your opinion about something, This is what we want to know. We want to hear that out there because it's important for us to be transparent about everything so that we don't hurt ourselves, right? Just kind of talk it out, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Because maybe there's something that we're saying is not your experience and your experience is not ours, but we want to hear about that, Make sure you let us know what's up, you know what I mean? This would be really cool. I like this.
It's good. It's good to let it out.
Let it out.
It's good to let it out.
Wow. So with I might even go a little bit, it's the same idea about relationship, but how now with the same concept of the conflict of the negative stuff and the positive stuff, I might flip it and say when kids are involved.
Yes.
How do you think that dynamic now works? Is that because now you're dealing with a different type of relationship and an angle with a child involved, whether it be a child from both of you, or in my case it's my stepdaughter, but I claim her as mine, and as well as the other one, so I have two daughters, so it could be looked on differently, right? Shout out to Ashante, of course, and little Victoria, right?
Yeah. So for me, I'm not against dating somebody who has kids already. I was 21, and the boyfriend I had at the time, who I was very serious with, he had a son. And I think the only fear for me was, oh my gosh, what if his son doesn't like me?
Yeah.
Because if his son doesn't like me, then it puts his father in a very tough position, even though he cares for me, but your child comes first.
Of course.
Luckily, it worked out, and me and the son became very close.
Yeah.
But I'm open to it, and with today's society, it's almost kind of hard to find someone who doesn't have kids. So if I wasn't open, I would definitely close the doors to a lot of potential relationships.
Yeah.
So I'm open to that. I do want kids of my own, and I would love if I'm with someone who also wants more kids.
Yeah.
And we just have a blended family, and my ideal situation, of course, would be get married, then have kids. But it doesn't always work like that. So I'm not holding up those high expectations anymore. I just want to be with someone who I know will be happy and joyful to bring a child into this world and be a great father, whether or not we work out, something happens and we go our separate ways, but be there for your child.
Oh yeah, my God.
Be not just a paycheck to your child, like you're present. God.
Be present, not just a paycheck. I like that.
That's,
wow. And that's if there's a paycheck.
That's if there is one. And it's funny because that's another topic. Yeah. Whenever I talk about something, there's always more things leading to it.
That's a whole topic.
And it could be messy, child support.
Yeah.
That could be messy.
Mm-hmm.
But, and I've seen people go through it. You watch things on TV, you hear about it all the time. Mm-hmm. And I believe in giving a man an opportunity to being a father. Yeah. Just because me and you might have an issue, you cheated on me, whatever it is, that should not reflect on the child. I don't have my father in my life. And after a while, it became by choice. So I'm very selective, or I will be selective as to, who it is that I lay down with and have a child with. Yeah. And know that he will be there for his child. And my child doesn't have to grow up asking, where's daddy? Why isn't daddy around? And it's not because I painted this image of this man who really wanted to be there. And what I do, slap, here's child support, pay up. If you're taking care of your child, why am I doing that? I don't. Wow. I feel like there's so many ways we can deal with things, but being females, we're emotional. Yeah. And sometimes we make decisions that we don't need to make, but it's just to get the person mad. True. But what I will not do.
And vice versa.
Yeah. Of course, it always goes both ways, but I can only speak right now as a woman. If you're doing right by your child, then continue doing just that. Yeah. We won't have to get the courts involved. We don't have to get messy with it. But that's all I ask for. True. That's all I ask for.
Wow. Hey, that could whole
and like
show.
I said, that can get so messy. I'm messy.
I'm thinking about where that can go. It's so long. I mean, the titles and the list of different directions this can go. It can go
so many ways. Yeah. I've thought about it because I'm getting to that age where my mom wants grandkids and
mommy, hi mom.
She wants grandkids, so I want to give that to her, but it has to be on my timing, and I want to know it's with someone who I don't have to worry about him being a good father. Not necessarily a good partner, but a damn good father.
It's got to be right. Yeah. You can now, you spend a little more time to make sure it's right on both sides. You just, because, you don't settle, so there's no need to, right? No need to settle. You don't need to do that. Yeah. But shouts up to mom, of course.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Alysha, this has been such a wonderful conversation.
It has been.
It's such a wonderful conversation.
I needed to have it.
Yeah.
I did.
That's cool.
I did. Especially with an old friend,
It's the power of the orange mic.
It's bringing out.
Yes.
And if I was nervous before, I ain't nervous now.
That's right.
So it's comfortable. Just two friends talking.
Yes.
With a mic in their face and
cameras. Yeah. Where are these cameras coming from? Hey, what's up?
A little more pressure, but it's comfortable.
It is.
It's comfortable.
Cool.
Yeah.
And we're glad that it was been, comfortable for you to make this a very, interesting and personal conversation as well. That was very, very good. Very impersonal, very, very much needed.
Yes. And just honest, raw, authentic.
Yeah, man.
That's it.
And it was pretty good. I didn't have to use the Kleenex, It was almost there.
For what?
I was like, getting teary-eyed.
Oh. I hope the camera didn't pick, because I was holding mine when we were talking about black men. I'm like, don't do it.
Hey, man.
Don't do it.
You have to suck it back in.
Yeah.
Don't do it. Yeah. That's all right. Hey, if it falls down, the tears fall.
Like I said, let it out.
Don't be ashamed to cry. Sometimes you have to cry like a big old
ugly
baby.
Cry. Yeah. Snot everything. I don't know what the snort is. Oh my gosh.
You gotta do it. Those kind of cry. You got good beating back in the days.
And then you would fall asleep.
You're like, hey.
And then you would sleep. And then mom comes, knocks on your door. It's dinner time, and you're just.
Yep. You want some dinner? Come.
Back to normal after. Okay. Yeah. Good old days.
Man. And they didn't hold back the rod of correction. Some of these kids need
especially when you know it's coming.
That's
the worst.
They need a few rods of correction right these days. Yeah. Behave yourself.
With that, it's a phone call away and a bunch of other people showing up to your door. So. Yeah,
whatever.
It worked for us.
It definitely worked.
It worked for us. I think my mom she beat me because
I
don't know how it would have been.
That's right. I think we should even bring back just for those who are, who making all these rules right now. Maybe they should get a few. But yes, I think so.
I think they need to open up their eyes more because it works.
Yes.
It works.
Let's go get daddy's switch and
I don't miss that now.
Mom's broomstick.
I don't miss whatever they pick up is what you're getting hit with. I don't miss that.
Whatever's close.
It worked. It works.
If it's not bolted down.
Exactly. You're catching it. Wherever you're catching it.
Yep. Don't you run from me.
Yeah. That makes it even worse. You running from the beating, you're getting extra beating. Oh God.
Oh man, this is fun.
It is. We can do this every week.
Well, yeah, we're gonna have to come back and do
I'm gonna have to come back.
Yes, because we're gonna have to address all those other topics, man.
I know.
That's gonna have. We're gonna have to do it. Let the people know what's up.
For sure.
Man, Alysha, thank you so much for being on the Orange Mic.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah,
it's
man.
Been a pleasure.
Jeez.
It's been a
old
pleasure.
School, old times. Everybody out there, we want to say thank you so much for watching another amazing episode on Conversations on the Orange Mic. We thank you so much for being there. Make sure you check out anybody that we have in the comments, the description, for any type of promos. Of course, to our wonderful sponsor, Simply Malika. We want to make sure that you all check her out and get some of her products, of course, as usual. And we want to make sure that you all keep in tune for our other shows that we have on the Orange Mic, where we have the show called The Orange Mic Live, where we have artists showcasing, and they're going to be coming to performing and doing their original music on the Orange Mic and gracing us with their amazing talents. We want to make sure anybody out there, if you want to be on the show, please hit us up on our message or DM us in our Instagram on the Orange Mic and let us know, and we'll get you on. Okay, so once again, we want to say thank you to Alysha for being here.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah.
And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
Oh yeah.
And turn on your notifications. I got you. Don't
Tell
worry.
them, make sure they get it.
Turn on that little bell. Wherever it's going to show up on the screen, just click on that.
Yeah, man. Like they also say, smash it.
Yes.
Yes, we got to get this channel very big and viral. We need that. All right. And just so you know, I didn't mention this all the other shows, but I'm going to start saying it from now on. We want to let you all know that the reason for this show is actually kind of fitting for what we do, as our occupation. This channel is actually created in a way that we can raise funds from making our affiliated marketing for ads and for vendors. And for commercials and anybody out there that wants to get their brands on the show, let us know, because these are ways that we're using to create revenue and capital for our youth programs, for COURTVISION Athletics. We want to make sure we have all the kids possible showing up at our camps, our clinics, and our tournaments. We want to make sure that they have an opportunity to be able to learn sports and get youth mentorship through sports, education, the arts, and music. That's what we do. So we want to make sure that we are able to do that. But it requires money. We need help. Okay, so if you're out there, you want to sponsor us and help the channel, do everything you can, please, because we need to make sure that we access all these young people, help them out, keep them in positive spaces, and keep them on a right path of doing greatness. Okay, so thank you once again for all your help and all your support. And we want to say thank you again and see you on the next Orange Mic.
Thanks, guys.